Want to put us up there?
Live in downtown Spring.
Hey everybody, welcome to our channel, Behind the Scope LLC. Fred and I are very happy to say hello and thank you for the 213,000 subscribers that we have now. That's just amazing. Sitting here to my right, Charlie Bono. Charlie, Houston Center controller, moved up from controlling to become the air traffic manager up at Dallas-Fort Worth Air Traffic Control Center. And Charlie retired back in 1999. That's right. And Fred and Charlie and I, we'd like to talk a little bit about camaraderie, friendship, and getting together as employees at Houston and other facilities. I remember during one of the interviews that we held and Charlie attended, Charlie had talked about how friendly Houston Center controllers were, that it was amazing. And me, when I transferred down to 87 from from Chicago Center to Houston, I noticed it too. I mean, the friendship, the welcoming. I mean, people will stumble over themselves to try to be helpful to you, get you a place to stay, you know, show you around, and after work, get together.
And they all had a can-do attitude.
That's right. He's absolutely right. All had a can-do attitude. Everybody wanted to jump in and do the work. And well, Chicago was the same way. I mean, they would fight for the rushes at Heights Plant or South House. But beside that, it seems, as Fred was talking about, that it's not that way anymore. It doesn't seem to be people knowing each other. When you ask somebody, hey, you know who so-and-so is? Oh, I don't know. Is that right, Fred?
You know, people don't even remember each other's names. When again, when we were working, we would plan to go out together for a drink after work, or on the weekends we'd get our families together and do a picnic or a pool party and stuff. Now,
Well, a lot of communities now, you don't even know who your neighbor is. People don't know who their neighbors are. They just don't talk to each other.
my neighbors always know who I am.
Well, sure, they can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, two of my neighbors have my phone number, and they say, in an emergency, you know, you're the first guy we call.
Contact.
Yeah, the first guy we call. And when they've had illnesses in their house and stuff, in an ambulance, if I saw an ambulance outside somebody's house, I'd go over there. Not to see if I could steal anything, just to see if they need any help.
Yeah. Yep.
Nowadays, the younger generation just ignores it and keeps walking. You know, what changed in
Cell phones.
population? Cell phones,
I think that caused a lot of it. I mean, people, you go around and look at people now, wherever there's a group of people. Every one of them have their head down doing something with their cell phone.
surgically attached.
They
cell
they just don't talk to each other. They don't communicate.
COVID
Yeah.
changed things too.
Yeah, it did.
Where everyone was afraid and they'd keep their doors closed and their faces covered.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think COVID was a big handicap to not just air traffic, but to the entire
Country. I mean, it was.
But now, you know, we're past that, so we have to take some of the masks off and be concerned about your fellow man more.
Well, we're past it, but there's still a lot of ramifications from it.
Yeah, yeah. Did political changes cause any of it also?
Well, I'm sure that there were a lot of things that happened over the course of the year, and politics lately has played into it quite extensively. I would say.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty dirty.
Yeah, the last 20 years, people have lost the ability to have a different of opinion, and yet still remain friends.
That's right.
You have a difference of opinion with somebody, and all of a sudden they hate you. You know.
Yeah, you used to be able to agree to disagree. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, well, they call that adulting, I remember.
Yeah.
And now you can't do that. And I've had my share of people that have disagreed with me, and I remain friends with. I've produced some movies with people that, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum when it
Yeah.
comes to politics or just a lot of other things. I don't hate them for it. They're entitled to their opinion. I think it's great. What good would the world be if everybody thought one way? Yeah, we are a diverse country, and we're entitled to our own opinion. We have the First and Second Amendment. We are allowed to say what we want to say. It's just over, I would say, the last 40 years, there's been this compartmentalization, there's been this separation using race and sex, and I don't know how many different sexes they say are out there, but it's kind of gotten ridiculous. All right, the race thing is used because they can put people in different areas, and they can use those people and get them to vote for them because they're going to promise them something. Or they can combine two groups that have similarities and say, you're not getting this because this group over here is not going to allow you to do that. Meanwhile, it's not true. What happens is they vote for these people to get in, and what you get when you voted for them are these little bitty morsels that come down, that trickle down, just enough of a taste, kind of like a drug dealer. They give you that first taste for free, and then the rest of the time you got to buy. And by that, I mean the buying is when you have the disagreement with the others. So all I'm saying is we really need to change the way we think. We need to learn how to love one another. We need to embrace our fellow man. We all bleed. We all need shelter. We all eat. We need warmth. And we need friendship. And the greatest of all that is love. You got to learn how to love one another, and that is what is the cleansing factor, and allows you the ability to disagree with somebody.
Yeah, and if we don't get back to that, this country is going to be in big, big, big trouble. It's in big trouble now, I think.
Well, I think it's pulling back. I think the world, and not just the country, but the world has seen something that's happened here in the United States that has been exposed by this one individual that they have lied about, they have slandered him, and now, once all these people started to watch the full context of what he was talking about, they see how the words of this man were manipulated to say that he was a racist, how he was a sexist.
Yep.
He was none of that. The man was nothing but pleasant, loving to the people, encouraging them to come up to his microphone and talk to him. And what did they do? Because they couldn't win any arguments with him. What did they do? The one guy took him out.
Yep.
And that is so sad. That is so sad.
Richard,
But
I'm sorry, Richard says that he's on the YouTube.
okay.
So
Hey, Richard, how are you? Glad that you joined us. How do you hear the sound out there? And I hope we're not getting too political, because this is really an air traffic control channel, not a politics, not a Joe Rogan or anything. And the thing that we were talking about was the camaraderie at Houston Center and all the facilities that are out there. I came from Chicago, and we had some friendships. We would get together after work, and when I came down to Houston Center from Chicago, I was greeted very well, and people couldn't do enough to make me feel welcome.
Yep.
And after work, if we had, we would have events. I even got one of my events that was on there was I got joked into doing a race with somebody, and you could watch that in I think it's season 2. But we always had fun. We always got together, did things. There was even the center picnics that went on, and then we'd go to Louisiana every once in a while, right? Wasn't there the
Crawfish ball.
Crawfish ball.
Well, yeah.
And we would have golf tournaments. I know we'd have golf tournaments. So there was always something that was exciting, and you're losing me. That was exciting and just fun to do, and keeping us engaged and learning more about each other.
is Richard on here?
I'm going to check. Richard, are you on, Richard Piper? You can see us? You guys keep talking. I mean, there's no...
He did want to do a Zoom.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay. I'll send you a link, Richard. Hold on a second. I'm going to bring this up. You guys keep...
Conversing.
Yes, please.
In our professional world of working aircraft, you know, you had various pilots that loved us, and then you had the other extreme of various pilots that hated us. I remember I had one situation where one of our guys was going down to Florida with his family, and his family was in the back. He got in the cockpit and introduced himself to the captain. Apparently the captain was not very happy with air traffic controllers and told him to get off the airplane. But while he told this controller to do that, he also made an announcement to the passengers that the family in the back was a family from an air traffic controller, and he was having them escorted off the aircraft. Not right, very embarrassing, and as a controller, we have a special family. So if you mess with one, you mess with all. And you could be sure, before the night was over, that airline went into a holding pattern for a lot of miles, or if it came down to following or neck and neck with other aircraft, you knew who was going to be number two.
I run into very few pilots that did not like the controllers. Most of them had a lot of respect for the controllers.
Yeah, most of us, them did, because they could understand the pressure we were under.
Absolutely.
But then there were certain ones that didn't, and that actually had a hatred for us. And this one, Captain Cox, senior captain, and when I was at the academy, I was sitting and I heard three other controllers from different parts of the world, from Panama, from Puerto Rico, from LA, talking, and it turned out they were all talking about the same captain. And I saw him come on the frequency, and I saw in a busy situation, he took a controller and crumpled him up like he was a piece of paper. Because while that controller was busy with airplanes all over, this guy was giving him a hard time, getting him to repeat the clearances, say them slower, give it to him in detail, when it was all in a book in front of him. But he didn't want to read the book because it was dark in the cockpit. So there were certain good ones and bad ones.
Yep.
Rob, you have anything to talk about?
Well, I'm struggling here to get the Zoom link up. I'm trying to get Richard to...
Okay. Yeah, I know
join us.
Richard has had some situations with pilots and some controllers. Richard was always inexperienced to work with, as much as I was.
I was getting ready to add it.
Yes, you know, Rob talks about how Houston greeted him when he got here. For me, they didn't understand if I was, and I've said it before, if I was animal, vegetable, or mineral. And they didn't understand a lot of the things I did.
Mr. Direct.
Yeah, yes.
Everybody was direct here or direct there.
And it was the way I was trained. Now that was brought up, when I was trained in New York, this gentleman's name was Warren Wilson. And Warren was an incredible controller. I was honored to be trained by him. Warren had a cigarette going next to him constantly. He had a hole big enough to drive, an ulcer big enough to drive a truck through. And unfortunately, I buried Warren when he was 49. No one should pay that price for a job. But Warren, this was before inertial navigation or anything. Warren would constantly, set airplanes up on headings to go to a certain place and clear them direct when able. That was the way I did it. Plus, I knew I was going, where I was going, and I didn't send any airplanes direct to airports. Even though lots of people said I did, I would go to one of the outer fixes
Audio work.
so they could get set up for the landing. I remember at one point, I was out on a coffee break, and one of the controllers came out and sits down and looks at me. He says, "Nice move." I said, "Thank you." He says, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Why'd I do what?" He said, sent this US Air direct Pittsburgh. I said, "I didn't clear anybody direct Pittsburgh." He said, "Oh yeah, you did." I said, "Really?" I said, "Who told you that?" He said, "Wayne Jackson told me." I said, "Really?" So I got up, I went back inside, over to where Wayne Jackson was. And I stand there and I said, "Did you send somebody direct Pittsburgh?" They said, "Well, we did it, but we told everybody you did it, so everyone believed you did it." And I got blamed for it. I said, "For God's sakes, you don't go direct the airport, you go outside." And at some point, we'll have Wayne Jackson on here for an interview, and he can explain how he figured he could do that and get away with it because my name was on it. Rob, would you like to add anything?
I would like to, but you put me on the spot getting this Zoom link up,
Richard, pipe out.
and I'm trying to get Richard on
Oh,
there.
Charlie?
I sent him the
Anything
link,
for
and
you?
I just got to get back to
Yeah.
You're in New Orleans specialty.
Yeah, I was in New Orleans as an area manager,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
but all my time was in Houston
Yeah, I
before that.
remember Houston. And, yeah,
Matter of fact, I think I was the first supervisor that was promoted, that was sent back to the specialty where he came out of as a
Yes.
controller.
and I remember I was in San Antonio,
Yeah,
and there was a big conflict because they told me I had a deal, and I had been on the position for 45 minutes. I said,
Turn you sound.
what deal did I have? And they told me between these two aircraft. I pulled out the strips to see if I worked them and don't remember it. And I know I never worked those aircraft. So we pulled the tapes,
Give me a
and
discount, Richard.
the two pieces of airspace on both sides of me had worked them. But when I tried to go out on a break, they handed me a form to tell me, to fill out a statement on the deal I had between
Here.
these two. It was a Southwest and a Clipper, a Pan American. And I wrote on it I had no knowledge of the loss of separation between those two. So after looking at the tapes, Mike Thompson was the deputy. Joe Bledsoe was the area manager. You were a supervisor in Houston. And everybody was having a meeting about Shuffler being the problem controller. And I think you spoke up and said, there was no problem with me, I'm just from New York. Do you remember that?
yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
And as much as San Antonio
All right, Richard.
didn't want me, but I could stay, and Houston did, so they gave me the option. I said, well, I
Okay,
don't stay
3, 2, 1.
I don't stay any place
We got
I'm
you.
not wanted.
Yeah,
And did I hear Shuffler was the problem controller?
He shuffles over there talking. Let's finish the story and we'll bring you on.
yeah,
Richard.
he said he was a controller.
You can't hear him?
You're very, very weak.
Oh, on
Yeah, that's
channel?
what they said I was, yeah.
I'll bring the volume up a little bit on that.
Yeah, that's when I came over there.
It's
I think I
hit
came
because
over
of the-
through.
I believe you did.
Yeah.
I believe you did.
I don't know how he's getting audio through the Zoom.
Yeah, I told him I'd take you.
Yeah,
Could you bring your volume up there,
Thank you.
Richard?
Everybody deserves a shot.
I'm gonna just bring
not
you
me.
a single viewer.
No.
All
Only
right.
problem I ever
Let's
have
put
with
him
you
up.
is your New York phraseology sometimes. And I told you that.
Yeah,
Well,
but
there's
there we
Mr.
go.
Richard Piper. He's with us.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, loud and
Loud and
clear.
clear, and you look pretty good too. Good morning,
Well,
Richard.
that's subjective, Fred.
Where's your
Did I hear
headset?
Fred mention he was a problem controller?
Fred had no problems. Everybody else had problems with Fred, but Fred had no problems.
That's right. Cool.
So tell us about yourself there, Mr. Piper. I'm sure you've got some good camaraderie stories for us.
I just texted on the YouTube. When I first hired on in 1985, February of 85, Houston Center was, the whole facility was on a rotating days off schedule.
Right.
And as an example, you worked a schedule where you might have Monday, Tuesday days off. You would work that schedule for 8 weeks. Then you would rotate back one day off to where you would have Sunday, Monday, work that for 8 weeks, rotate back one day off to have Saturday, Sunday, 8 weeks, and you'd have Friday, Saturday, and that went on through the whole year.
That's correct.
And when I first came in as a trainee, you were assigned to a crew, but then after that, after you were checked out, people
66.
seem to choose their crews based on personalities and the people that they like to work with. And then, and I forget when permanent days off came in, but before that, when we had rotating days off, crews on their days off spent time together with their families, and the guys and gals, guys, that's a euphemism, that would include guys and gals, would play golf or spend their weekends with each other. And then when permanent days off came in, it seemed like everybody was out for themselves.
So that was when they were bidding you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Well, of course. I
Sitting,
mean,
and then the crews themselves didn't spend as much time with each other and or the families on their days off.
yeah, yeah.
That's true.
But still, I would say that Houston Center was the most friendly center I had ever been in. And
Yeah.
I've been through several of the facilities
Yeah.
out there. I'm not saying that the other ones were unfriendly. I'm just saying that there was this atmosphere of camaraderie throughout the facility.
Well, when you were in Chicago, were it rotating or permanent days off?
In Chicago, we had permanent days off. And
Well, see, that's...
And it was done on seniority, and, because I was the lowest on the pole, I had like
Right.
Tuesday, Wednesday days off. So I was able to have a bowling night and my overtime, okay? Because we worked
Right.
6 days a week, every day, every week, we was always on overtime. And, but we still got together. I mean, like I said, I had a bowling team, and I had a group of people that would ride Harleys with me. We'd go up to Dells, Wisconsin, come back, call in sick when we got too drunk, No, I'm only kidding about that part.
True.
But there was,
Anyway,
but that's the degree of camaraderie.
I will say, and I'm not gonna, you can't generalize the whole group, but it seemed when I retired, I could have went for another 3 years, but to be honest, I didn't enjoy the job anymore. Some of the co-workers, and I call them young kids, they always, and like I said, this is generalizing. You can't include all of them because there were some good ones, but there were a few bad apples that always wanted to be on break. They didn't have your back if you were working traffic, etc.
Hey, Richard, you gotta admit though, those ones that always wanted to be on break when you work in traffic, you were very happy that they were on break.
Well,
Yes, they couldn't work traffic.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, to me, when you have people like that, the job wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something like that on Houston that I had to deal with all the time. And you're right. I mean, that's why they came to work, is so they could have breaks.
Yes.
That's what it seemed like anyway.
Well, there was always, you go out, when I first got there, I did not play dominoes, okay? But I learned how to play dominoes, and I never thought I would learn how to play dominoes. I'd be back in the back with Ed, oh gosh, big guy, big round guy, golf at night, always worked bids. Oh darn it, shoot, can't think of his name. Not Helton. Well, Helton would be back there, and Ray Staling, not Ed, but Ray Staling would be back there, and
Thor Cornell.
Thor, yes, indeed,
Yeah.
Thor, you know how he got his name, right?
Thor Cornell.
When his mom had him, she said, "Oh, that's Thor." But I like Thor. Thor was a good guy, a lot of fun,
Yeah.
enjoyable to be around. He was the one that gave, the supervisor, ops manager, Mr. F. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, gosh, we know who he is.
David Frank.
No, he had a bald, he was bald, but he always wore a wig. And,
Oh, Mike,
No, it's not Mike.
I can see him.
Somebody help me.
I got and I forget who it was. Yeah, it was an area manager that had a OM that had always wore that wig.
Yeah, hairpiece.
Somebody, I don't know if you could see this on the camera, but they had come in for like a 6 o'clock shift and was in early at like about 5:15, 5:20, and had gone into the restroom, and that OM came in, and I don't know if you can see this, but he licked his tongue and did like this on that wig.
Well, we can see that very, very clearly. You're a little bit close to the camera if you want to slide back a little bit, but not that far. Come on. Oh, man, now you give me, oh, my goodness. I know people that drive like that. Holy cow. They are off and on. It's like Air Mexico, 2 speeds, on and off. But, yeah, that was, I just had his name, too. He was actually a fun guy outside of work, but it
He was a nice guy.
But Thor exposed his wig. Thor exposed his wig one day he was up there at the operations manager's desk, and somehow he got him to turn his head, and the wig kind of stayed in place, and it all shifted. And about a week after that, he started coming in without it. He just got rid of it, you know.
And of course, Murray wore a wig.
Yes.
Murray Taylor.
Murray Taylor, yeah.
He was one of the good guys.
He
was one of the good guys.
Yeah, Murray was.
Yeah, and you knew you were one of the good guys if he came up to you and told you were one of the good guys.
That's right.
That's right.
Because and then you had the complete dichotomy of what Murray was in Eddie. I mean, it was laughable how Eddie would do anything to go out and have a cigarette and take a break and just kind of saunter around. But I knew that they had some hard times when they first hired in. The Dorceel White, I think they worked for a while. She was pretty tough on him. Yeah, pretty tough.
Yeah, she was.
So, well, we definitely enjoy having you on the show, Richard. I remember one time, in fact, more than one time, you would call up to the 510 office and ask me why that flag is still at half-mast or why that flag isn't at half-mast. I appreciate that, because not everybody fired on the same cylinders, and not everybody was as quick to get stuff done as when you would tell them to do things, even though they were supposed to. So.
Well, you would expect a government facility.
Oh, absolutely.
That's going to fly the flag to display it correctly, and
I tried my darndest, buddy. Let me tell you.
Well, how many Memorial Days in May that Monday is supposed to be flown at half staff until noon and then raised to the top?
Right, and the way it's brought to half staff is it goes all the way up to the top, and then it comes
Correct.
down. You see?
Unless it's already up there, then.
Yeah, correct.
And it was a shame that, like I said, you would expect a government facility, if they're going to display it, they should display it correctly.
Well, I tried. Believe me, working in a government facility, you ought to know. I gave it my darndest.
Well, and I'm not going to say who the chief was when that all started, but I had gone to the local, and of course I learned how to display the flag when I was in elementary school.
Right.
So, and so I went to the local library and I checked out a book and I brought it up to work and presented it to the facility chief and my supervisor. I said, "This is how you display the flag." They said, "Can we borrow this?" I said, "No, I checked it out of the library. I got to take it back." But I said, "You can read it and check it out. I mean, look at the information." But anyways, I've got a flagpole in front of my house. It's about a 25-foot flagpole, and I can guarantee you I handle the flag with respect.
Amen to that, brother. I got a flag out in front of my house too, but it's lit. It flies 24 hours a day. It's lit like it's supposed to be. In climate weather, I take it down. So
Yes.
everybody should know how to display this country's flag.
Yep.
Didn't they come up with a new law as far as burning the flag?
Oh, Trump signed something in the office.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was.
Is it
It's public.
felony or something?
I'm not sure. Not a fellow misdemeanor or something. I don't know. But be that as it may, you got one good. Give us one good knowledge story or for a good one. I know you got him in there, Richard.
After the strike, I don't know if I ever told you that story about when I was in the Air Force, working in the control tower, and we had there was right after the strike started, I think we had like 20 miles in trail. Any aircraft departing England Air Force Base, and that's in Alexandria, Louisiana. And at that time, England Air Force Base was a big, on the weekends, that's where all the T-38s and T-37s would all fly in for their training. And so we had about maybe 10 or 15 T-38s that had come in that weekend. And as they all wanted to depart, they would all file their flight plans and base ops. And they were the instructors and the student pilots would get in their T-38s and all want to leave. Well, we had about 10 T-38s lined up on the taxiway at the end of the runway, and there were 20 miles in trail departures in between them, or maybe been 20 minutes. And so you can count how much time was going to be in between each of those planes. Well, the last guy, at the end of the runway, those 10 were already on local control frequency. The last guy to file his flight plan, he gets out and he sees that line of T-38s at the end of the runway, and he says, "What are those guys waiting for?" And we told him on ground control frequency, well, there's a 20-minute restriction in between each aircraft. So the instructor says, "Is there any restriction on VFR?" We said, "No, sir." So he went down to the end of the runway. We told him contact tower, and he passed all that, those 10 T-38s, and he took off VFR.
It's good when you know how to play the system. I bet you when he got up to 11,000 feet, he called Houston Center and said, "Hey, Houston Center, it's Talon 3-1 looking for IFR to the Podunk Airport." And he probably got a clearance because Houston Center's aircraft friendly.
Yep. And did I tell you all the story of the T-38s that came in that one weekend? It was a flight of 4, and they got switched over from approach control, and the flight lead, when the 4 gets switched over, the flight lead checks on and says, "Cuddy 2-1 check." And it was a flight of 4, and you hear 3, or you hear 2, 3, and 4 never checked on. So the flight lead checks again. He says, "Cuddy 2-1 check," and you hear 2, 3, 4 never checks on. He says, "Cuddy 2-1 check, 2, 3, 4, 4 finally checks on." And so they make their overhead pattern, report overhead, and come around base, and they all land. And as they're rolling out on the runway, we tell Cuddy 2-1 flight, contact ground 275.8, or we told them 0.8 at the end of the runway, went off. We knew what was going to happen. So the ground controller put his, instead of having the sound come through his ear, he put it on a speaker. And when they all exited the runway, and they're at the end of the runway and they're on the taxiway, you could hear through the speaker, "Cuddy 2-1 check." You hear 2, 3. And he says again, "Cuddy 2-1 check, 2, 3. Well, we had put the local control frequency on the speaker, and the flight lead went back to the local control frequency, and it said, "Cuddy 2-1 check." You hear 4. And then the flight lead said, "4, get on ground." He threw them out. And then they had the same problem when they left. So I don't know if that student pilot ever made it. getting through the program.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little more story. It might not be too PC, but I enjoy it. I work in Chicago Center. You got the westbound, the eastbounds going out to the East Coast and out across the pond. You have this one Air Italia checks out the frequencies. It says, Chicago Center, Air Italia 1 2 3 4, which you climb and flight level to 230. I come back, I go, Air Italia 2 3 4, Chicago Center, climb and maintain the flight level 350. Cleared on course, you know. Air Italia, climb the flight level 350, thank you. Then United checks out the frequency. Use Chicago Center, this is United 126, with you climbing the flight level 230. United 126, Chicago Center, climb and maintain, flight level 280, cleared on course. United 126, Roger, cleared on course, 20. Air Italia, hey, Chicago Center, you make a fun of my accent? No, I make a fun of United accent.
And of course, whenever I had an Air Canada, there was always Air Canada 123, eh?
Hey! Yeah, you can always count on that for sure. Well, Richard, it's been nice talking to you. You guys have anything else you want to add to our little soiree on camaraderie and fun and getting together and how much we enjoyed each other out of the break room? And I know there's some good break room stories out there. I don't know if they're ready for prime time yet, but I have to filter them out.
I'll just say, I'm just glad I was in when I was in. I wouldn't want to be working there right now.
No.
It's changed.
It's not like life. We were born at a good time, and we worked at a good time.
That's right.
Yeah, and certainly now with all the issues that are going on with ATC, I mean, look at these planes on the runway running into each other. 2 Deltas.
Yeah. One lost a wing, I think.
It's not like there was zero visibility out there.
There's a lot of ground incursions for some reason.
Was that a controller, or was that a ramp controller? That may have been a ramp controller.
Either way, it still happened.
Yeah.
How could these things happen? You got the plane right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's big as an elephant.
I did take flying lessons a couple of times, and one of the things my last instructor drilled in me, we were flying a low-wing Piper Cherokee, and I was getting a little close to the taxiway, to the edge of the taxiway. He said, "You got to be careful because that wing may hit those lights." So you would think pilots would be aware of where their wings are.
Well, he didn't tell you got a taxi, put that center wheel on that center line, the
That's
taxiway.
right.
That's where you should be. That gives you clearance.
So
Anyway, Fred, you got something over here. What is this?
Oh, just talking about the expansion of drones
Oh,
and pilotless airplanes flying around. More and more for warfare or for ferrying, you'll have one primary aircraft and he'll couple in a group of drones and they will fly formation with that aircraft. If it's a military operation, that aircraft can look at threats to the formation and he can program the individual drones to go after that target, to break away from the group and go after the target. They are going to explode on the target like a bomb,
well,
but that target is eliminated.
They're a lot cheaper, too, aren't they?
Yeah, and you've got, one primary aircraft and a group of 5 or 10 drones flying around him. It's becoming more and more autonomous, and the computers are that complicated.
kind of like a kamikaze drone.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure that, well, there was something that came up in one of the press secretary briefings or one of these, just information about how our military has got some really wicked powerful stuff out there, and that was about these autonomous drones. They could go out accomplish a mission and come back in return. So that means it's not just kamikaze. These things can probably drop bombs, to target something for somebody. They're going to have a lot of use for these items, but it also swings both ways, right? The other side will definitely have the same thing, so.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Jack Overfield was talking to me about Amazon. He said in his neighborhood, he's seen Amazon drones going by dropping off packages. So
Wow.
that'd be nice. You just gotta wait out there for that big 82-inch or 87-inch color TV go by and then you get that net gun out.
And where I live in Alexandria, Alexandria's a large farming community, a rural community, and some of the farmers around my area, my neighbors, of course, when you say neighbors, they've got 100 acres right next door to me, but they're spraying their crops with a drone instead of a crop duster. They've got these large drones that a good-sized drone that will spray their crops instead of having a crop duster come do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I understand when those drones leave, they go, I'll be back. So it's just.
They do have a drone now that can land on an aircraft carrier and take off again. And again, the drone can be carrying a drone. And that second drone can be fired to go after something. They're also certifying drones to do aerial refueling, which is interesting.
That would be.
I don't know if a controller can talk to them and give them some vectors, but I remember, 20 years ago, when they first started the drones, as they were flying across the country, one of the biggest problems was the fact that if they would start to do things, initially you had a map of where they were going to go and what they were going to do, but if they started to do something else, you had to scramble to find out what they were doing because you were still trying to run commercial airplanes around them. So that could get complicated.
Yeah.
Well, be that as it may.
Yes.
I would say that this has been a pretty good day for our channel, and we've covered quite a lot of ground. I hope that people will send us some messages on what they think about what we had to say. But there are some things out there that I would like to share. And this is going to be fun, because as a 510 manager, I used to take care of the board outside. You might want to have to zoom in over here somewhere. Maybe you can get a camera down to this section, right about here. And I will show some of
Let's
these.
get a picture of you, ready? See a picture of you?
Anybody recognize any of these people?
No?
Oh. Well, if you want to put it down there, I'll move to it. Let's see, that is right about there. You're not going to be able to see that, are you? Can you zoom in it, Tyler? Well, if not, I can just kind of hold them up here. Anybody know who these are from the board? I can't even tell. This is backwards. There we go. There's one. Oh, and look at, everybody knows this person, Houston Center, right? Do we recognize her?
Is that Joy Taylor?
Yep, there you go.
With
And,
one eye.
I don't know who this person is, I don't know who this person is, or this person. A lot of these people might not have, oh, wait a minute, here's one we all know. Yeah, you know him, Richard?
Hold on, I can't see it. I can see your armpit.
You can see my armpit, which?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Oh,
right,
there you
it's
go.
here on my camera, yeah.
I can't.
Let me put it up here.
No, well,
And there, and then
back.
back to you. There we go.
Oh, wow.
There's my picture.
Richard
Wow.
Schaefer.
That's an old picture.
Yeah. And Richard Schaefer, and just in case, I'm sure you know who this
Up a
is.
little bit.
Yeah. And I'll put
Oh,
it,
yeah. Yep.
put it out over here.
So did you get those off that board, or? Yeah, I guess you did.
I had to take, oh, I can't show that. You can't have that. legally. Yeah, we don't want to get you in trouble, Fred. You know, this,
20 years later.
That one I don't know.
you don't know, I don't know. Okay.
Rick.
Oh, wait a minute, we all know this guy. Definitely, we know him. Ready?
Up a little bit? Oh, yeah.
All right. Anybody else out there know who this guy
The
is?
snake.
No, that's Shelton. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Who is Richard Shelton? Oh, and we know,
I thought his nickname was the snake.
no, I was Schaefer. Was it Richard
Oh, okay.
Schaefer? Here we go.
Snake.
Yeah, there we go. We all know.
Oh.
Fred, this is
Oh,
Fred.
they all know
This is one of
Walter.
Fred's best friends, I think.
Walter?
I can't. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was such a nice guy to work with, pleasant
Hey.
attitude. You know, talking about camaraderie and getting along
That's
with
right.
people, that man was the role model for being pleasant and caring, concerned about his fellow controller. There's nobody I would rather have work the sector opposite me when I was extremely busy than that man right there.
Let me see, who you
Yeah,
talking
no
about?
doubt. Walter Thompson. Yeah.
I will say we had some characters that worked.
We definitely did. And I have so many of these pictures, and I'll show them every once in a while on the channel, because I'm sure that you all find it interesting. But anything else, gentlemen? I want to thank Charlie Bono over here for coming on out and spending some time with us on the couch. And
Does Charlie still live on Lake Charles, or did you move, or?
I'm here in spring now.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Charlie lives upstairs in my house.
Yeah,
I didn't know it until today. We came downstairs. We were here at the same time.
you were wondering why your water bill was so high.
Exactly. I kept looking for a leak in my sprinkler system. I got to do my hawking. I got to be a huckster. So don't forget to get your copy of our book here. And of course, we got our QR code on the back. And this here is all about everything you always want to know about ATC, but we're afraid to ask. It's been updated since the last edition. You will find out from beginning to end. You could find out everything you wanted to know about air traffic. It's in this booklet. We spent the time to put it together. Also, Fred has brought his cup along. We have some more Merck. We've got these cups here. We've got, this is a 20, is it 20 ounce?
20 or 15?
Is it a, no, this is 20 ounce tumbler with our logo on it. And on the back, we have the QR code. And I want to tell you, if you order one of these cups, we can make it personalized. We put your name, the facility you worked at, what your job was in the facility. If you had several different jobs, if you worked at several different locations, we could line it up for you on the back, and you'll always have that to look at and remind you of
like
that
to get one
great
of these,
retirement check that you get every month from Uncle Sugar. Okay, we have other items. We have coasters. We have
Figure out
luggage
what,
tags. I'm even making
gonna put on
tote bags, 15 by 12, and I think the biggest one's going to be like 20 by
I'd probably put
15.
Zoo in
So
and see if
we're going to
we
put
can
them on
get
our board
them.
as soon as I can remember the password
Just think about it.
and give it to
Tom,
Malcolm.
that was the guy's name. That OM, his first name was Tom.
Tom. Tom Wood.
Wicca.
And M, no, not Wicca. M, starts with an M.
You're right. It's Tom. Tom.
Yep, his first name. So that's what happens when you get older. You do.
Lowry.
The memory comes and goes.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that
I
happens.
talked to Tom Lowry a lot. He makes me-
McGee, Tom McGee.
Yes.
His wife's name was Eva McGee.
There you
Yes.
go.
I notified him, but he's come to.
So anyway,
now.
thank you for that. I'm glad you remembered it.
He said he
Your
didn't
memory
know
is
about
better than ours. Maybe we need some Prevagen or
No.
something.
Oh, well, I've got some, but I forgot to take it.
I'm on that.
All right. Thank you again. And Charlie, thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. It's always good to see
Thanks for
Charlie.
inviting.
I run into Charlie at the grocery store every once in a while. We shop at the same place, you know.
Well,
And
you
Fred,
live together, you might as well carpool.
well, like I said, I didn't know he was living with me. I just
Yeah,
found
you
that
didn't
out. You know? So, Fred, you want to say anything as we go?
We're coming up on a year of doing this
Yeah.
and a lot of experiences. We have a lot more to talk about, and I'm sure people are interested in it. We've also grown to close to 2 million
Views.
views and close to 1 million members.
Oh, we're at 213,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's not real close.
Yeah, we're almost a quarter of the way there.
But it's getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was something about
It's a lot of people.
800,000.
No,
Well,
that was
okay,
something else.
okay.
But anyway,
We gotta get more box tops, so we,
so keep watching, subscribing, and remember to watch the entire show, because that's the only way we're going to get the work hours, the watch hours, and that will move us toward monetization. I will bet that by tomorrow we will be 1,303 watch hours, okay? So keep watching us, keep supporting us, and if you have a group of people that want to get together, a friend and I will come out and visit with you. I'll bring my crew out, and we'll sit down and we'll chew the fat, do the hanger flying, whatever you want to call it. We'd love to hear your stories, and we just like to get together with you, fellow controllers. We have the same things in common, and your stories mean a lot more to us than the average layperson, because we actually know what you're talking about.
All right.
Thank you, Richard.
And
Thanks, Richard.
well, I was gonna say, good seeing you and Charlie, but I got to hear Fred, so.
You know what, the thing is, the
Fred, hey, Fred.
see, I really was in the room, they weren't just
Couldn't
doing
turn the channel on, but then you would have a delay, you would hear yourself,
Yeah,
and it would be so good. But you could watch the story, you could see all Fred's emotions, because Fred is a good emoter. Right, Fred?
Yeah, I've been emoting for years.
From,
All right.
For Fred, Charlie, myself, thank you all for joining us. You guys have a good week, and a big thank you out to Malcolm and the rest of the people out there that helped make this happen. So,
Yeah.
oh, and
thank you,
Malcolm,
Malcolm.
yeah, and Malcolm gets paid, so you got to get the watch out.
Oh, well. Well, Malcolm is already monetized.
Yeah, that's it. He certainly is. Maybe I got the wrong job.
Thanks
All right, you
for
take care. And,
All right.
that's okay.
Bye-bye.
Go cut your hay, take care.